All right, welcome to Crossroads Live. We are on the road. We are in Hico, Texas, and I'm sitting here with one of my old compadres, Mr. Dean Redding.
It's good to see you again, Jim, here in beautiful downtown Hico, Texas.
I'm telling you what, I was looking for Pat Garrett all morning, but can't find him.
Well, you know they're having the Billy the Kid Western Film Festival here, celebrating Western film, which is one of my favorite things.
I don't know anybody that doesn't like a good Western movie.
Well, I hope not.
I love them. You know, and everywhere I go, people are always saying, "Why aren't they making more Western? Why aren't they making more Western?"
Well, let's make some.
I'm ready.
Get some money. All we need is money.
I got the horse.
We need money.
Yeah,
we don't need your horse. We need money.
Oh, you might need my horse. My horse is good in the movies.
Okay. Well,
apparently, you haven't seen Hero in the Rain yet.
No, I haven't, but I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Well,
tell me about Hero in the Rain.
Hero in the Rain. Hero in the Rain started out as a 20-minute short that I wanted to do, and my agent, who was your agent, Peggy Taylor, talked me into. I sat and told her the story, and all the time she's laughing, and I'm thinking, I thought I just wrote the great American drama. And she's laughing. She said, "This is funny." She said, "I'll tell you what you do. Make it into a full-length feature." What? And so I did. And then I had Sharrah, who was the star and co-producer, and I went to her and I told her, I said, "This is what Peggy said to do." And she said, "Well, let's do it." And so we nickel and dimed that movie. And you know what I'm talking about.
How long did it take you to shoot it?
About 3.5 years.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because we were shooting. Because everybody has jobs.
Right.
We're all working on the weekends.
Right.
And everybody and the crew, and we got the equipment. We want to thank also DCTV, which is no longer, but they supplied us with the equipment, the sound equipment, the cameras, and a lot of times people assistants to make that movie. A lot of people got behind it.
Tell me a little bit about the story.
The story is about a movie actress played by Sharrah, who got fed up with the Hollywood system.
Okay.
They wanted her to play nothing but the dumb blonde parts, and she felt that she was a good actress and that she could play more than just the dumb blonde. And so when it came time for her new contract, she refused to sign the contract and leaves. And she gets in her car and she motors east. And she heads to Texas, where her girlfriend, played by Sylvia Harrah. And if we're having a little background noise, folks, but that's okay. Stay with us. But anyway.
I think that's one of those horns that they call the dog with.
So anyway, she
I've got one of those.
Yeah. So anyway, she comes to Texas. And her car breaks down in the middle of nowhere, and along comes this old cowboy, played by me.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and I work cheap.
Yeah.
So anyway, I come along and I befriend her, and the story takes off from there. And I tell you any more, I'm telling you an old story. But it's a story about friendship, I think.
Really? Well, good. And is it showing here at the Texas the Billy?
It actually won Best Screenplay.
All right.
And what's amazing about that is my director, Miss Betty Jackson, she didn't even know I knew how to read.
Much less right.
Much less right. And so anyway, I'm very proud of that. I want to first of all thank all of my crew that worked on that movie, all the cast that worked on the movie, and because they made it come to life, and the folks here liked the screenplay.
And thank me for having to sit with you.
Well, the thing about it is, I want to tell everybody though, you and I really, I was in the theater world. I was doing theater, and I got to work on my first television show, which was Route 66.
Yes, sir.
And you got, your first TV show was Route 66.
Yeah, I was like 10 years old or something like that.
Yeah, I was 50. No, I'm lying. No, I was 21.
Wow.
And I was 21. And I worked on it in Mesquite, Texas at the rodeo grounds. And the co-stars of that was
Martin Milner and George
Martin
Maharis.
Milner, George Maharis. But
Later on, Glenn Corbett took over with George
yeah,
Maharis.
Glenn Corbett. But on that particular episode, we had Slim Pickens
Oh, man.
and Ben Johnson. They were two of the guest stars.
That's fantastic.
What a way to start out a career.
I mean, that's Old West right there.
That is. And, well, they say Ben Johnson was the best horseman in the movies. I've heard that.
There's no doubt about it. There was a certain number of actors that were really good. There was Wild Bill Elliott. He was good on a horse. Joel McCrae.
Yeah.
Glenn Ford. You know, you had some. Doug
Robert
McClure was
Fuller.
good.
Robert Fuller, I hear.
Right, Robert Ford.
Yeah. And, but anyway, what we really need to do now is talk about Hico, Texas, what's going on here today. The film festival took place. I mean, it's going on, but they're showing the movies today, right?
Showing the movies that won the award.
Yeah, heading to Mexico.
Heading to Mexico.
Heading. You know,
Leave that G off.
You know, I have not learned how to talk Texan yet.
Well, you know,
I'm working
our
on
friend
it.
Bob Hinkle.
Yeah, Bob Hinkle could teach
James
me.
Dean and Rock
Yeah.
Hudson had it. And
James
the first
Dean.
thing he told them,
What?
leave off your G's.
Is that right?
That's it. Read his book, Call Me Lucky, A Texan in Hollywood. It tells you all you need to know.
Call me unlucky, Louisiana and Hollywood. No, I'm kidding. But
Hey, the next movie you make, can I be your stunt double?
it's called Escape from Orange.
Oh, man.
And but
Forget it.
you want to be my stunt double?
Yeah, I want to be your
You
stunt
ride a motorcycle?
No, but we'll dress my horse up look like a motorcycle.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what. Anyway, welcome to Hico, Texas. My name is Jim, and this is Dean Redding, and we're going to be talking to some of the stars and the behind-the-scenes people today, right here in Hico, Texas, at the Billy the Kid Film Festival, and the spirit of the cowboy combined.
That's true.
So stay with us.
And I met you last year at the Spirit of the Cowboy.
Well, we did. Although, we forgot to tell him about we worked at Painted Hero.
Yep.
We did. And with, what's his name? Dwight Yoakam. Dwight Yoakam.
John Getz.
And my buddy, Peter Fonda.
Peter Fonda.
What a great guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, y'all stay with us. We'll be right back on Crossroads Live here in Hico, Texas at the Billy the Kid Film Festival and the Spirit of the Cowboy. And thank you, Dean, for being here, my buddy.
You bet, buddy.
All right. We'll be back. Today, I'm out here with my pal, Danny Boy. And we have a message for you from the American Lung Association. If you don't smoke, don't start. And if you do smoke, find a way to stop. Now, we know that it's not easy, so check with your doctor. He'll be the first one who'll be glad to help show you the way. Now, for a better quality life and a longer life, stop smoking today. So, for me and Danny, to all of you, good luck, God bless, and here's hoping we see you at the Crossroads.
I'm Colin Ray. Within the next 30 seconds, at least 3 children will be physically or sexually abused. We must stop this national tragedy that robs our children of their innocence, their dignity, and often their lives. If you or someone you know are being abused, call Child Help USA National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4A-CHILD. Call is free and confidential 24 hours a day. 1-800-4A-CHILD. You can stop child abuse.
Hi, this is Dean Redding back, and I am with one of my heroes, Mr. Dean Smith. Dean, I've known you, gosh, I guess since 1986. I've met you at a Ben Johnson opening in Fort Worth.
That's right.
And you were so friendly to me. We were doing a TV show at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, I tell you what, I admire you, I respect you, and you are one of my heroes.
Well, thank you so much for that wonderful compliment. I appreciate that. You know, I've been very fortunate to have been in an era of pictures with people Mike Finn and yourself and all of the great guys. I happened to double Roy Rogers once and got to know all of them, got to know all my heroes. I got to work with John Wayne and Dale Robertson and Ben and great directors like John Ford, Howard Hawks, all those wonderful people. Got to double Dale Robertson and Tales of Wells Fargo and went to a great university and won a lot of great races there at the university. And
Tell us about what you did in the Olympics.
well, in 1952, when I was 20 years old, I won the national AAU out in California, and it enabled me to go to Helsinki, where the 1952 Olympic Games was. And we went there, and Helsinki, Finland was a very small place. I think it had about 80,000 seat stadium. We had a lane track. And the Russians, they didn't even live with us in the same stadium. They had their own satellite over there. But anyway, that was about 63 years ago. I'm 83 now. And time goes by really, really fast. But to be able to say you've been in the Olympic Games is not bad, too shabby for an old country boy.
And what'd you win?
I won fourth. I was the leadoff man on the relay that defeated the Russians. I got a gold medal. And I was fourth in the 100-meter dash with 6 of us in the race. And it was, we were all dead heated. It was all of us, the first 4 guys had the same time. And so as you look back on these 63 years, you'll just say, well, gee, I wish my start had been a little bit better, or I wished I could have had a little bit more of a lean or something. But, you know, they'll always be talking about that race. And,
After the Olympics, how did you get into the film business?
well, back in 55 and 56, I was in the service. And I had met a guy in 53 who was on the Olympic team with me. J.W. Mashburn introduced me to a fellow named Jim Bumgarner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he later changed his name to James Garner, and Jim is the one that got me started in pictures. And then after I got in, Bob Mathias, who I was on the 52 Olympic team, introduced me to the Wayne family. And through that, I was on my way. I had a wonderful career. I got to know so many people. You know, I got to meet Roy and Gene and John Wayne and Dale Robertson, Roy and Gene, and so many of those guys that were so terrific in those days. Gary Cooper, worked with Gary Cooper.
What'd you work with?
A movie called, oh my gosh, we did it up at St. George, Utah. Rita Hayworth was in the picture. And
They came to Cordura?
They came to Cordura. Okay. That's the one I worked with.
Directed by Robert Roston, if I remember.
That's right, And we were there on that picture with John Cason and a bunch of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And just had a lot of wonderful, wonderful people that I've met in these years.
Well, you were talking about Jim Garner. I worked with Jim Garner on a picture called The Long Summer of George Adams. And I found him to be a really super nice guy.
He was one of the greatest guys you ever met. And he's not been gone long, but I kept up with Jim pretty much through all these years. And he and I were just the best of friends. And he's the one that got me started.
Yeah.
He got me in the picture business.
And I know, like you said, you worked with John Ford, Howard Hawks. I mean, some of the greatest directors that ever lived.
Mm-hmm.
And you were in The Alamo, one of my favorite movies. Accurately, it's a great movie, though. It's entertainingly great. It is a great movie.
Well, to me, of course, it was one of my first big movies. I was working in Texas on a movie about Texas history. I was working for John Wayne. I was first time ever in my life I ever had any money in my bank, and I had kept my money in the First State Bank there in Brackettville, Texas. So anyway, things were going great. It was, it'll hold up for a long, long time. With
Yes.
Mark and him and Ken Curtis.
It was a great movie.
Frankie Avalon.
And that's a great location.
Oh, I was just talking to a fellow a while ago that was trying to see about maybe buying.
Yeah, we talked to David Jones. In fact, we interviewed David Jones about what he plans
And
to
he's
do.
trying to get things regulated, and I told him I'd go back down there and spend some time. I love that country down there, Brackenville, Fort Clark. Have got a lot of great memories that I had. And I remember I ran a foot race down there in the middle of the prairie.
Yeah, I read that in your book.
They had a big, Pontiac had a big, commercial thing, and they interviewed me and saw me out. I outran that horse 40 yards 2 out of 3 times. The third time I was getting a little out of shape. And I wasn't in school at the time when I was doing that, you know. But I've really been very lucky to get to do a lot of the things that I like.
Tell me a quick story about McClintock that I've read about Maureen O'Hara.
Well,
saying what you did.
I got a call from Cliff Lyons. He was a stunt coordinator on the picture.
Yeah.
And he said, Dean, I want you to double Maureen O'Hara, and I want you to go down to Max Factor, and I want you to get fitted for a wig, a big red wig. So I went down there, and I went to Western Costume, and they had me in these tights, white leotards. So anyway, when I got there, I had to fall out of a damn second-story balcony with Duke was harassing her, and anyway, about halfway sprained my ankle coming off, hit that hay, and it threw me down on the ground. And then I fell off of ladders, and I did all kinds of things through plate glass windows and jumping over fences and everything. And but anyway, that was 1961. And
that was the first movie that Andrew McLaglen directed, right?
Well, that probably was.
Yeah. And he was the son of Victor McLaglen, who, gosh, had been in John Ford westerns for years, and other John Ford films.
Well, anyway, I was fortunate enough to get to work with the John Wayne, John Ford, Howard Hawk Group people, and Cliff Lyons was a great stunt mentor. And
he had a funny voice. Wagon Master, he's got a pretty good part as a sheriff.
Yeah, and he's got a, well, they always said I had a high-pitched voice too. I may still do it, but maybe it was way up there when I was young, but I'm a little bit older now and my voice ain't quite so high.
Okay. Well,
but anyway, I'm very fortunate that I've had the career that I've had, and I've met the people that I've known. And I tell you, we need to support the Western movies. We need to get Hollywood to get the hell out of politics and start making Western movies again.
Wouldn't that be great?
It would be terrific.
It would be great.
You know, they're trying to make us all what they want, and I don't want to be what they want.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about being what they want me to do.
Okay. Well, the last thing I want to talk to you about is your book. Tell us about your book.
Well, I have a new book out. It's called From Olympic Gold to the Silver Screen. It's a story of my life. It's my biography. And it's done by a fellow named Mike Cox. And it's a very good book. Now, you can brag on anything, and I'll brag on this book.
I've read it twice.
And it's real. It's down to earth. It's genuine. Mm-hmm. And I would like very much to get it done. Now, a lot of people said, well, you know who could play you real well? I said, well, I'd like to know. And they said Matthew McConaughey. Well, you know something, my God, I think he could play me well. He's such a fine actor. Mm-hmm. And I would like to see Matthew play me. And I think if he ever reads my book, I think he would think that it would, you know, it's a clean-cut story. It's a good American story. And I'd like to see it.
I'd love to see it on the silver screen.
I would go, I'd pay $1 or $2 to go see it today myself.
I might even go a little bit higher now.
How much are tickets now? About $25?
And you don't want to buy popcorn.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Dean, I really enjoyed talking to you. You are one of my heroes.
Well, I thank you so much for wanting to visit.
And I've been very blessed to have known you all these years.
Well, I've been very blessed to have you, and of course we both have the name Dean.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know.
And that's our middle name. We're known by our middle name.
Yes. My first name is Finus.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you what my first name is.
My first name is Finest because when my grandfather, when he had my dad, he said, God ziggity damn Ollie, he's a fine boy and we're going to call him Finest. So in 32 they called me Finest. And then now I've got a young boy, 17, his name is Finest Dean Smith II.
And I met your son. And,
yeah, he's 6'1.5".
I'm quite impressed with him.
Good actor, good singer, and I think, while we're talking about maybe the future, I think he'll be out of high school within less than 2 years. I believe that Finest, he is a handsome-looking boy, and he can do a lot. I think he might end up, by God, being something that might help us.
Great.
Get the Cowboys back.
That'd be great.
And I hope I live long enough to see it happen.
Well, I tell you what, I've been very blessed to know you, and it was sure good talking to you again.
Well, thank you, Dean.
Thank you, buddy.
Hi, I'm Kristen Harris, and I perform Western and Western swing cowboy music. And I've just released a brand new CD. It's called Down the Trail, and I'm excited about it. It's about half my original songs and half some really traditional Western material, and kind of draws from the cattle ranching background and that kind of stuff, and also similar to Bob Wills and that Western swing dance music, which is really fun. And so to order one, you can go to my website, www.kristenharris.com, which is spelled KRISTYNHARRIS. And I'm also on Facebook and other social media, so thank you. This is a piece of one of the songs that's on my new CD, Down the Trail. Give me 1,000 acres and dirt under my fingernails, and a horse with a trot just bouncy enough to swing my ponytail. And if he's snorty in the morning, well, I don't mind, 'cause by noon he'll be lagging behind. We've got 80 head of cattle to trail.
We are all students in the School of Big Storms. We have learned what happens when governments, families, and communities aren't prepared for hurricanes. Now, scientists say a changing climate may mean more frequent and violent storms, and we need to act before the next big storm hits to prepare and protect families and communities and restore the natural defense system, the wetlands and forests that protect us all from high water and winds. Together we can do it. Learn how.
So, you ever been to a rodeo?
No, I can't say that I have.
Well, you ought to go sometime. You might like it.
Well, maybe someday you'll take me.
If you like.
I like.
Okay.
You know, Jake, for years I've heard a saying about the rodeo, and I've always wondered if it was true.
Well, that depends on what you heard.
Well, what I heard is that there isn't a horse that can't be rode, and not a cowboy that can't be thrown.
Well, that's a true old saying, that's for sure.
Well, you know, I know that the rodeo is a big part of American history, but I really don't know much more than what I've read in magazines or seen in the movies.
Well, rodeo, to some folks, is very Americana. It's a place where people show their love of God, country. A place where some people pray and sing America the Beautiful, and they do it all with their family. To some, there's no greater honor than to be an American cowboy.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's something.
Well, you know, those people sitting up in those stands, when they see that cowboy climb up that chute and into the saddle of a bucking bronc, that in that split second when they open that gate, that somehow, that they don't wish that that could be them.
I never realized how important it is to some people.
Well, a songwriter once wrote, I'd rather spend 8 seconds in the saddle than a lifetime in the stands.
You really miss it, don't you?
Oh. I had my day in the sun.
So, did you win a lot?
Yeah.
So, you know the thrill of being a winner.
Yeah, I also know that winning belongs to the young.
You know what they say, don't you?
No, what do they say?
If we live long enough, we all get older.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
That's right.
3-week tour, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We're going to go to New Mexico.
We're going to go west.
Yeah, New Mexico,
Where else? We're going to
Arizona,
go west.
California.
Further west. We're going to Maui.
Oh, Maui, the French island out in the Hawaii Islands.
Hawaiian, yeah,
Yes,
you know. I see
that's-
you got, you're ready.
That's why they call it
You have-
Maui, though.
Yeah, you got your big shirt on.
My big. This is muy big.
Big.
How do you say muy?
Are you going to be able to go ziplining?
I got to lose 4 more pounds.
All right. We're going to have to do that. Hey, y'all get ready because we got palaka.
Palaka,
You're going to wear
yes.
your palaka?
I will wear my palaka and entertain the people on the island, and I will sing Hawaiian Cowboy, and she'll sing palaka.
Palaka is plaid, by
Plaid.
the way. Yeah. You don't see it on the tourists.
No,
Hawaiian traditional plaid.
that's exactly what it is, and,
Yeah.
and all of the paniolas wear it.
That's right. The Paniolo Cowboys. That's right. The Hawaiian
Yeah.
Cowboys. But then we'll come back and play a little bit in the Grand Canyon. So we're going to be gone a few weeks. And if you see us on the road, check our website, www.missdevinandtheoutlaw.com.
It's all spelt out too.
And it's on our calendar page.
Calendar page is
Yeah.
where our calendar stuff happens.
I got that from Bob Terry.
What, the calendar?
Calendar.
Calendar,
The
yeah.
famous and infamous, the more than famous Bob Terry.
Bob Terry, the
Yeah.
star of Sundown.
But he's the outlaw, so
I'm
he's
the outlaw.
more than infamous.
Actually, I'm not an outlaw in Sundown. I'm a bartender.
That's right. You're Jesse
I'm
Banks, the bartender.
super bartender.
We're sort of free flowing here, but do you think maybe we should get down the trail now?
Yeah, I think so. We'll see
So
y'all
long.
later, and hopefully some of you in Hawaii.
Come on out.
Bye.
Music speaks a universal language
and forms the soundtrack of our lives.
Brings joy, hope, and healing.
However, the future of music is in jeopardy.
Illegal downloading and file sharing have already cost
over 70,000 industry-related jobs.
And the U.S. economy loses $30 million a day.
Let's work together and keep the music playing.
Please download and share music responsibly.
To learn more, visit savethemusicamerica.org.
So, till we meet again, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you at the Crossroads. Let's go, Dan.